Hey guys, welcome back to my gaming channel. I'm so excited for this video. Today we finally have Tiana, and for this build we are going to clean out this side of our little glade and make this our bayou / New Orleans vibe aesthetic. I knew that when Tiana came I wanted to do this, so I am so excited the time is finally here. So on the left side of the glade where you enter from the meadow, I put her palace or her restaurant, and I did do the gravel pathing, but I knew I wanted to change it, so you'll see I will change it. And next to her restaurant, I did put her little cart, and we're gonna create an outdoor restaurant area. I added in the bistro chairs and the bistro tables that we were able to craft when you bring Tiana in. And I made a little area next to her meal cart with the chairs, the tables, and for decor on the tables, I used some candles as well as the new lotus flowers from the Star Path and the new feather vases from the Star Path. So we're creating this really beautiful outdoor Louisiana patio vibe, this New Orleans restaurant patio with the ice cream stand from the last Star Path, I believe, as well as the Corona fountain, a little seating nook, and the iron light posts. I wanted this to have a really nice, simple, yet elegant aesthetic. For the pond in front of the restaurant, I just went in with a bunch of the new Mulan items that we got, the white reeds and some of the regular lotus pads. I realized I wanted to create the New Orleans kind of Bourbon Street aesthetic. I went in with the Disney entry buildings that we got in the not the Star Path. It was a premium shop item. I love this item. I also use this for my Bridgerton build, and they're perfect for this kind of Louisiana aesthetic. I feel like they match that French Quarter vibe. So then what I did was I kind of just clutter decor vibed it out. You guys know my style. I like a clutter core. That's like my aesthetic. I like to just add a bunch of items that create this real life vibe. So I added a bunch of fun things like the Encanto stacked chairs, a bunch of the clocks that was in the premium shop a few months ago. Those really feel very New Orleans to me. And then to create the cobblestone street, I am using the rock rug path. Now I'm going to fill up around the buildings with a bunch of fun items. We're using crates, we're using all of the instruments that we have. We have guitars, some of the theme park items like the pretzel stands. I didn't want it to look too theme park, so we're going to use some items as well as some of the new Star Path items from the 1920s aesthetic. We're using the ice cream stands, some of the pretzel stands, and some of the popcorn machines, and just any items that you feel match that kind of fun New Orleans Mardi Gras kind of vibe. So balloons and things that are slightly colorful: red, orange, green, purple. I wish that they would have given us some more instruments for the Star Path. I would have loved to have seen a furniture item that was like band items, maybe like a beautiful jazz set of instruments to decorate with. I don't know why they didn't think of that, but instead I'm using what we have. So I'm using the record players, the guitars, the amps, the microphones, just to really hone in on that musical element. Also, the purple banners work great here, as well as the metal grates to give it that street vibe. Now I decided to really enhance it and make it look realistic. We're using the non-bordered brick white path, and this is going to go all around all the areas that the cobble rug isn't, and this just really gives it that real life street aesthetic. Then of course we're gonna drop some items on our carts like shrimp and random foods that very much feel like the New Orleans aesthetic, and we will do more of that later. For this build, I wasn't really sure what I was doing. I was kind of just going with the flow, so you'll see I'll go back and forth between different things as I go. On the other end, parallel to the restaurant, I did put in the new gazebo from the Star Path. This gazebo is so gorgeous. I love, love, love it so much. So I put that on the other side. And then I wasn't quite sure what I was going to do yet, but I had the idea that maybe this area kind of bled into one of the areas where you could catch the trolley. So I put some of the Oswaldian train tracks underneath and put that on the outside. Now we're going to start creating our entrance and exit areas with the pathing and kind of decide where we're going to put it. I did end up kind of dragging that underneath the cobblestone area to make it look a little bit cleaner as well. Around the pond, it looked really weird because the pathing doesn't really go up against the pond. So to kind of fix that a little bit and camouflage it, I went in with a bunch of rocks and butterfly flowers to camouflage, and I think it looks a lot nicer, a little bit more clean and realistic. Like there's beautiful flowers growing around this pond and you don't just see the stark end of the pathing. Now at this time, I decided to take a break from our Bourbon Street area and go decorate Tiana's house. I love her house. Her house looked across from the road little area, the little rock, I guess, bridge that goes across the water. I love how her house looks going across there, and I think it's nice to have it a little bit further away from our main city area and have it go more into the neighborhood, because on this side of the glade I have Daisy's house, Minnie's house, and then you'll see I'm going to put another house next to Tiana's, so it just looks more like a neighborhood instead of being in the middle of the city. So around her house we're just going to add some of those beautiful lotus flowers, some green wrought iron lanterns or lamps, as well as some beautiful green chairs, trees, and just a little bit of some decor around the house. So after that, I went back to our gazebo, and then I thought, why don't I close it off with some brick? I feel like the brick just really adds that beautiful finishing touch. It gives it more of a city-like feel, and it helps close it off and make it feel like its own little side. That way, if I want to build something else in this other area of the glade, it can have its own little section closed off from the rest. I decided to use the rock path to create a nice little path going towards the house area, and then inside of the gazebo I thought it'd be really pretty to create this aesthetic where there's like a band inside. Again, I wish we had more items like musical instruments. Hopefully they bring those. I would have loved to have seen like a jazz band, like some saxophones or trombones and things like that, a bass or something, even a violin or something like that. But I used the big kind of 1920s aesthetic piano, and then I'm also going to put other decor in there later. So we're putting in some of those new Star Path items and some chandeliers as well. And because this has flowers falling all around it, we're going to add some of the Magnolia Path little bundles of flowers on the ground. It's going to really help add to the aesthetic that these beautiful flowers are falling all over this area. As you can see, I also used some of the ferns to kind of help it look a little bit more natural, like the path is flowing, and also to cover up any areas where the pathing doesn't look perfect. I love that they allowed us to put stuff inside of this gazebo. Oh my god, it is so beautiful. It is probably one of my favorite furniture items in the entire game now. So now I'm going to add some more decorations to our little Bourbon Street area, and then I'm going to go into Tiana's palace and cook up some really fun Mardi Gras New Orleans type of food. So we're going to do beignets and root beer. I just thought those would be really fun items to just scatter around our build and make it look really lived in, like people are having their fun little meals and drinks, and it's just super cute. To finish off our gazebo area and really make this look finished, I'm adding in the wrought iron like Mickey banner, as well as more of the lighting and clocks. And then around Tiana's house, I added a lot more items to just make it feel lived in. So we have some of the beautiful vine lamps and some more chairs. And then I decided to really give it that neighborhood look, to go in with some white picket fence. I feel like that really gives it that New Orleans neighborhood vibe. And then inside of her little fence, we're going to add in some items to make it look like she has a little garden area where she comes out and just hangs out. So we have the bioluminescent green flowers, the Mulan sandbags, the Hercules fountain, and then I also added in some of the jugs as well as some of the water pails, just to make it look lived in and still simple. I feel like Tiana is the type of character who's just very into cooking, and I just see her house being simplistic but beautiful. And then of course we're going to finish it off with more of the fireflies from the star path. There's a ton of fireflies in this build, so even though I didn't mention every little thing, you can see that I put a ton of those everywhere. I am so excited about those fireflies. Now we're going to take the rock rug and kind of extend the rock bridge that we already have around the pond area to really give it a natural flow from our little city to her house and just make the whole vibe feel connected. Then I thought it'd be really cute to add the water lilies from the star path. Since they can't go in the water, they can go on the ground, and I think they look really cute in between all of the little rocks with the fairy lights over. I just feel like it really makes the pond come to life, and it kind of extends that like pond aesthetic over to her house. Since the whole area has a lot of water, it's supposed to be a bayou, so it's like even though there's rocks everywhere, it also feels very watery and the pond feels extended. And then I'm also going to add more of the pink magnolia flower piles everywhere, since we did add pink trees. I think the pink trees look so pretty against the green of her house. I also went in and added one of the broken boats that we got. I forgot what star path it was, or when, I think it was a premium shop item. It was the boat cruise, broken down boat, and I think inside the water it looks really cool and it really adds to that bayou aesthetic. Around the pond, we're going to add more of the rock piles to create a vibe of a little path going from our city back to the house around the entire path. I think it just looks really nice to have these. And then I'm going to add more of the lotus flowers around it, and this really brought everything together. I feel like it made the path look so much more beautiful and alive, and then it also really brings everything together. I feel like everything feels a lot more cohesive, a lot more just together, and it really makes the bayou element come to life because it almost makes the pond feel bigger, like it's extended. And also adding the fairy lights and the fireflies, adding the Cinderella vine lamps. I feel like all of this together really makes it feel more cohesive with the rest of our glade and helps it kind of incorporate better into the other fairy core elements of our glade. And then next to Tiana's house, I put Tinkerbell's house because I feel like this really helps incorporate, like I said, that fairy core that we already have going on in the glade. And the green of the Tinkerbell house matches the green of Tiana's aesthetic, and all together it just looks so cute. Let me know if you guys want a build of what I'm gonna do with the Tinkerbell house. I'm really excited. I actually did do a little bit of a build inside. Let me know if you guys want to see a video on that house. And then we're gonna walk through with Tiana, and I love how it looks. It's so fun and colorful, and it's so lively. And we have our little trolley, and we have goofy stall, so it's still really accessible. It feels like it's part of the build. It feels like it's part of the, main street where you can go and buy some food, buy some snacks, to go to Tiana's stall and buy some food from her. We have the tangled painting area. We have the trolleys. We have beignets and balloons and all types of fun things. And I just feel like with the outfits and the little crocodile with his little hat, it just really feels super Tiana inspired. It feels like you're in a little makeshift Bourbon Street, and it just looks so cute. I'm so happy with how it turned out because I really wasn't sure what to do, but once it was done, I love it so much. I think it came out so cute. I love our little clock area with our piano. That really feels like where, you know, Tiana has her guests come to sing. Maybe she sings by the piano. And it is just so glamorous and beautiful. And then I realized that there wasn't any food on this little stand. So I went back into the restaurant. I cooked some foods up that I felt like matched the vibe, like some seafood platters. And we're going to put those on the ice cream stand so that it really feels like there's a lot of food in this area and all types of good stuff. And you can also see there's a bike. We have a little trash can. And I feel like those little elements just really make it come to life. It really makes it feel like there's people hanging out here. I love this build so much. I think it came out so cute. I think the brick looks really nice here and everything just flows really well. I feel like everything just looks so cute, and I love this like vibe that you have the Bourbon Street kind of city vibe, but then it flows into more of the fairy court on the other side of the glade, which is what I love because I can't not have both. I feel like the glade is that area where it's like it really has that New Orleans bayou feel, but I still really want my fairy core pink glittery vibe. And so I love that this incorporates both of those aesthetics, both of those elements, and in one build. So I'm super, super happy with how this came out, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna keep my glade like this for a long time. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you guys did with your glade. Did you put Tiana in the glade? I feel like we all were waiting for Tiana to go in our glade, and I would love to know what you did in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys, happy gaming.